Hey, what's up, everybody? I am your Wrestling Rundown Champion, and I'm here to give you guys my review of Lucha Underground Season 1, Episode 6. I may have called the last episode Episode 6, but it's obviously fixed in the title, but this actually is Episode 6. And this episode is called The Key, and it was taped on September 28th, 2014, and it aired on December 3rd, 2014. And the episode... I forgot to mention the last video, but we had Matt Stryker and Vampiro on commentary for that episode, and for this episode, we had the same commentary team. The episode started off with Dario Cueto and Big Rick in his office, and Big Rick signed a contract, and he gets a $1,000 bonus, $100,000 bonus, which is the money that Dario Cueto was going to give to Johnny Mundo on the first episode of Lucha Underground, but obviously he didn't because he turncoated him. Or he double-crossed him, I should have said. So, Big Rick wants it in cash, and Dario Cueto agrees, but there's obviously more that comes onto this later. But I did like that he signed a contract and stuff. And yeah, I thought this was a hell of a segment. I did like how Big Rick smoked his cigar and stuff, so this was good. Then we had the first match on the show. It was Son of Havoc and Ivelisse in the ring, or Ivelisse. I really don't know. I know they say Ivelisse, but I'm calling it Ivelisse because it's an I, not an E. And Ivelisse cuts a promo talking about how ever since Son of Havoc came to Lucha Underground, he's been treated like a joke. He had to wrestle a woman and a man that's only half a man. I thought it was strange. I can understand, like, obviously picking on the little person, but I thought it was kind of strange that she said that it was a joke that she had to wrestle a woman since Ivelisse is a woman, so I thought that was a kind of a weird line. But pretty much Son of Havoc calls out an open challenge, and who comes out and accepts none other than Pimpinella Escardale. I don't think that's how you say that at all, but that's and he was a very flamboyant character. He was so flamboyant, I didn't even know if this was a guy or a girl, or a man or a woman, or some, like, transvestite or something. I had no clue, but then I found out he was a guy. But he was very flamboyant, and Son of Havoc attacks him before the match starts, but Pimpinella pretty much outwrestles him throughout the beginning of the matchup. He ended up hitting a sick flip dive on the outside from the apron. Then eventually, Son of Havoc got the upper hand with a drop kick, and he ended up hitting like an elbow drop from the ring post on the outside, which was cool. Pimpinella tried to land on his feet on the apron, but he ended up falling on the outside. I don't know if this was legit or not, because it looked like he was really hurt, but I'm assuming he was just selling the injury. And Ivelisse kept interfering time in and time out, so eventually, Mascarta Sagrada comes out and chases Ivelisse, and then this distracts Son of Havoc, and Pimpinella kisses Son of Havoc. They call it like the kiss of death or something, and rolls him up for the win. So afterwards, Pimpinella and Mascarta and Mascarta Sagrada celebrate afterwards. I thought this was a pretty good match, actually. I'll give it like 3 stars. I thought it was an entertaining match, and I did like the match. And I'm assuming this is going to build to a tag team match on a future episode of Lucha Underground. Then we had Johnny Mundo backstage. I don't know if this had happened yet, but I'm just going to say it now. And he goes up to Dario Cueto, who was using the bathroom, and he chokes Dario Cueto into a wall and tells him that no matter who he has to get through, he's always going to get his hand to Dario Cueto. And he wants his $100,000. And Dario Cueto then says that he'll give it to him in cash. And then Johnny Mundo takes his key as an insurance policy, so that way he will give him his $100,000. I thought this was a good segment here. I loved it, actually. It was good. Then we had Mel Montez with Katrina ringside versus Famous B. This was an enhancement match. but I thought this made Mil Muertes look really strong. Mil Muertes hits a spear and then the flatliner for the win. And then afterwards he attacks him some more, and Katrina hits the Lick of Death on him, or Lick of 1,000 Deaths. But I thought this was a good enhancement match. This was probably 2.5 stars. I was entertained by this. And then we had Drago. Then they had a video package for Drago, kind of giving some backstory into him, talking about how, and I kind of like it because it kind of made us realize that Drago and Kin Quano have the same gimmick because they both hunt. But except Drago is supposed to represent a dragon and Kin Quano is supposed to represent an actual hunter. So I actually kind of like that they kind of reference that they both have the same gimmick, which I think kind of makes a perfect match. And then we had Kin Quano versus Drago, and this was, I thought, a really good match. This was probably my favorite match on the show. I'll definitely give it 3.5 stars. I thought it was very enjoyable. And Kin Quano immediately hits a double knees right onto Drago. Drago hits a Enziguri and then hits a tornado DDT. He hits a flip dive on the outside. Kin Quano hits DDT, and then he hits a springboard moonsault, and then eventually hits a suicide dive on the outside. He eventually pulls the referee, and this distracts Drago, and Drago hits a flip dive on the outside. He hits a reverse hurricanrana, and then eventually Kin Quano beats him with a what he calls the thrill of the hunt, which is his Michinoku driver. And then afterwards, he attacks Drago some more and tells him that the hunt has just begun. So that kind of references that this feud's going to continue. And I like this feud. I like the way that Kin Quano wrestled in this match. How he was, acting like he was a predator going after his prey. And I like this. This was good. Then Johnny Mundo comes down to the ring. And he says that he's going to give Dario Cueto to the count of 10 to come out here and give him his $100,000. And he starts counting, and right when he gets to Big Rick comes out and tells him to get out of his win and he'll put it out of his misery. Johnny Mundo hits a wicked suicide dive on the outside, beats the crap out of Big Rick. He continues his count, and then Conan comes up and tells him that Prince Puma, because Johnny Mundo cost him his match on the last episode, isn't going to be helping out Johnny Mundo anymore. And then Big Rick, when Johnny Mundo goes to respond, uses this distraction to attack Johnny Mundo from behind and beat the crap out of him. Then Prince Puma comes out and hits a missile drop kick onto Big Rick. And Big Rick and Johnny Mundo, Prince Puma and Johnny Mundo both fight off Big Rick. And then afterwards, Prince Puma and Johnny Mundo go at it, which I thought made sense because Prince Puma took exception to the fact that Johnny Mundo cost him his match on the previous episode. So even referees and security guards have to break it up. At this point, Mr. Cisco and Cortez Castro had come out, and then Dario Cueto comes out of his office and said that he has the $100,000 for Johnny Mundo, but he tells him that it's supposed to go to Big Rick. But there was a clause in Big Rick's contract that he signed that said that he had to earn the money. So he said on the next episode of Lucha Underground, he's going to make a 3-way ladder match between Johnny Mundo, Prince Puma, and Big Rick for the $100,000. And I thought this was a great segment. This was probably the best segment I've seen Lucha Underground put together, but this was great. I really enjoyed this, and I can't wait to see that 3-way ladder match. I think that's going to be an insane match. And then we had the main event. It was Phoenix and Sexy Star versus Pentagon Jr. and Chavo Guerrero Jr. This was a pretty good main event here. Phoenix immediately hits a super kick on Pentagon Jr., and Sexy Star immediately starts attacking Chavo Guerrero Jr. Phoenix hits a flip dive on the outside. And eventually the heels get the heat on Phoenix for a while. Sexy Star gets the hot tag, and both of the baby faces hit dives on the heels. And then eventually Sexy Star hits a Hurricanrana into a DDT, and then Phoenix hits a double knees onto Pentagon Jr., and Sexy Star gets the win, and Chavo Guerrero Jr. just sits down and watches. And then the show goes off the air. I actually kind of thought Blue Demon Jr. would have made his return on this show, considering the fact that it's been a while since we've seen him, and they kind of were referencing him a lot. But I'm assuming on a future episode of Lucha Underground, during one of Chavo Guerrero Jr.'s matches, Blue Demon Jr. will come out and beat the crap out of Chavo Guerrero Jr. That's what I think is going to happen. But overall, I really enjoyed this episode of Lucha Underground. It was just a nice, simple wrestling show, and I can't wait to watch that three-way ladder match on the next episode. I'm going to watch that right after I upload this video. But if I had to rate this episode, I thought it was a really good episode. I'll give it 7 3/4, which is like a C+. It wasn't quite a great episode, but I thought it was a really good episode. And that's pretty much it, guys. Make sure you tune into the Wrestling Rundown this week. We'll be covering some wrestling topics on there. Make sure you guys do the same thing. And like, comment, and share this video so people will watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content and click on the bell so that way every time I upload a video, you guys will get the notifications for it. Make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM brothers and on the Talkinator channels. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.